It just makes common sense. Why would you continue building a structure when really you don't know if it's safe for anybody to live in it? So let's make sure that it's safe, safe for the low-income families who have no other choice but to live there. Let's make sure they live in a safe and healthy environment.
State Representative Christina Morales this week calling on newly sworn Mayor John Whitmire to freeze construction of the controversial low-income housing project at 800 Middle Street in 2nd Ward. The reason is well documented. This $100 million plus complex is literally surrounded by contaminated property. Everything from toxic lead at a former state Superfund site to untold tons of incinerator ash laced with a whole range of poisons, including dioxin. Mayor Whitmire, who spoke out against this Turner administration boondoggle on the campaign trail, had this to say Wednesday.
Greg, I'm on top of it, but you know, I'd like to hold the developer and the department that authorized it accountable, and we will. But good reporting on your part. It's very frustrating to watch something go forward and feel like you've somewhat got your hands tied.
Panel, what could certainly untie the mayor's hands are the results of an independent environmental assessment ordered by the State Department of Housing and Community Affairs. Scientific findings which are due next month. I'm going to start with you, Bill King, because you've looked at it on the ground there. You've read all the stuff. This is a big mess.
It is a big mess, and it's going to be a big legal mess. You know, the developer that came in bought the property based on representations from the city housing department that this land was all okay to build on. You know, the city housing department gave the developer reports that said, you know, it's all cleaned up, it's all fine. Now, those reports seem to be questionable, let's put it that way. And certainly the properties around it, even if that's true, have all sorts of problems. You know, I'm not sure John's got the legal power to close this thing down. And if he did, I'm sure the developer is going to sue the city. So this is going to be another gigantic mess that he's inherited from the previous administration.
Yeah, credit where credit's due. 4 or 5 years ago, Wayne had his eyeballs on this thing and said, this stinks. It's one of those PFCs, right?
Yeah, look, the reality of this is going to turn out to be one of the big scandals that we uncover coming out of the Turner administration, right? Because now there are going to be people that are actually going to look at it and say, this thing stunk from the get-go, right? This was $60 million or so spent on dirt, and crappy dirt. And you said those reports were questionable? Those reports were bull, okay? Those environmental reports would show like a beautiful field, right? It's a beautiful field. And it wouldn't show the pictures of the ash going into the bayou right next door.
Tomorrow, final word to you, and I'll come back later.
Wayne was talking about this was bad from the get-go, and he is correct. But where he is wrong is where the get-go started. This property closed in 2012. Sylvester Turner was not the mayor.
2020.
No, the sale started back then negotiating. You know that. That's when they started. It started under the previous administration. And this, the problem that I have was, did the city know this when they bought it? Because a third of the land had to be removed from the deal, but the $50 million price still stayed the same.